split arrows, fisher crane, the stone
The
bramble.
goal of this interior scene was to house the council of the Anamfatha, the Glanfathan leaders. One belongs to each tribe. It's a ceremonial building where people from the 6 tribes pay homage to their own kin, and also where matters of the Glanfathan state get decided by the council. We would have liked to have more Anamfatha here, but in Toon Elms, we ended up with 2 out of 6. We thought it was best to have a couple of them show really strongly than many of them barely fleshed out.
Okay.
Wait. I don't know if I should go through with this. Make the trade deal with the Anamenfath.
If a Valiant deal with the Glanfathans weakens the Deerwood, it could mean war for the Republics in the future.
Well, I'm not picking the cruel option, so... Yeah, what other option do you have?
I could put the idea in the Anamenfath's head that the Republics are not interested in exclusive trade, but limited trade of goods that they do not already trade with the Deerwoodans.
Oh, I'm just going so hardcore on the benevolent. Maybe I need to pump up some other stuff, but it's so easy to just like feed benevolence, right? I'm at like benevolent 4, and everything else is like 1 or 2. The right thing to do, the Deerwoodans are at the mercy of the Republics, and they don't even know it. Your actions today can prevent further suffering. Or if you do that, I doubt the Dukes will be forgiving. Consider your options carefully, Palagina. The ramifications for yourself and these nations could be great. Or rational. That's a terrible idea, and the Dukes will surely eject you from the Brotherhood if you go through with it. Stop and think for a minute. I don't like passionate, that's dumb. What do you guys think? Anyone? It's kind of between diplomatic and benevolent. I mean, I have huge benevolency. Not a lot of diplomacy. I mean, do we do the right thing? Like, limited trade of the goods that they don't already have, so... What's going to help me out in other situations? You know what, let's just go with benevolence. I like benevolence, and we'll probably... Who knows, maybe there's like benevolence 5 options later on that we really need to do. Oh, does it? She nods her head resolutely.
Another Estramore. What do you want?
Wow, just straight to the point. I want to visit other districts of Twin Elms. Gimme. A middle-aged Orlan woman stands at the back of the longhouse, an expression of irritation on her narrow features. As you approach, she takes a decisive step toward you. I want to visit the other districts of Twin Elms.
There are reasons we don't let you Estramoran roam our sacred city. Reasons I am coming to understand.
Because I asked so bluntly. Benevolent. You're having some kind of trouble? Maybe I could help. Oh gosh. This would be a great diplomacy step. Perhaps we can work out an arrangement. I've no wish to cause a stir. Sounds good. I'm afraid not. Damn it.
Looters have grown bolder at the sights of the builders. The people of Defiance Bay set fire to their own city. And every week, the 3 Tusk Stelgar bring news of more desperate settlers pushing at our borders, trying to escape their plague of Anolfane children.
Assuming that means Hollowborn. Suddenly, you feel the presence of someone else in the hall. The Anamenfoth continues to glare at you, but something has stepped out of her skin. It reaches out to you.
Permitting more strangers the freedom of the city is out of the question right now. Go and be thankful that Anamfoth Shimak doesn't sit in the passage of the Six today. He would not be so kind as I.
Furwelt. A vision of an Orlan man appears near Bethwell. He has the same green-brown fur and hazel eyes as she does. Help me reason with them, he points behind you. Turning, you see ghostly shapes of 5 other Anamfatha. Another Orlan with tawny fur and a scarred face, a frowning dwarf, a black-furred Orlan, and 2 elves. Who's the other Orlan? He looks just like you. Or perception. See, perception has led me into combat situations, which I'm not a big fan of. Like, most times, right? So I was like, who's the other Orlan? He looks just like you. Anamenfoth Bethwell. A scowl creases around her face. Is this your idea of a joke? Your kind have no sense of subtlety. Not really. The spectral Orlan takes another step from her, setting his foot down with a slow, heavy motion. Tendrils of essence strain between them, and he grimaces and leans forward, as if struggling against a gale. The angry Anamenfoth winces. War! The spectral Orlan's voice is a rasping croak. They're headed for war! Remind them of Farewell's warning. Does Farewell's warning mean anything to you? Farewell's soul image gasps. Taut threads of essence tug at him, drawing him back into the Anamenfoth. He looks up at you again. I tried to tell them the Builder's souls have touched even the Estramoran.
You'd better explain yourself.
The 2 intending tribesmen look from the Anamenfoth to you, and their sword hands ready. Her slitted pupils narrow. Better explain yourself. There are other souls in this place and in you. You must listen to them. Listen to what? Right now, my ears hear only your nonsense. Builder's souls have this other Orlan. Do you know who he is? Right now, I'm more interested in who you are. The Builder's souls have touched even the Estramoran.
There's no way you could have known this saying. Not unless you are a Galuth on Anums. A
Galuth?
watcher of souls.
You silly Galuth. She gasps at the last of Farewell's soul fades. As the last of Farewell's soul fades back into her, the tribesmen gape at you. Farewell's tried to warn the other tribes about something. What was it?
Feralt's warning came before the Broken Stone War. Feralt, my ancestor on my mother's side, was Anamfoth of our tribe then. When the Estramoric farmers defiled the Builder's monuments, Feralt urged the other Anamfotha to patience, but louder, angrier voices prevailed. Feralt believed that the invaders could be taught to respect the Builders as we do. He also believed the Builders' souls had spread to all peoples, and that we should avoid needless conflict with others. More practically, he worried that a violent response would only spur further bloodshed across the generations, and you can see where we are today.
What do you mean?
While Ferelt's words were shrewd, they were ignored back then. Simply remembering his warning now will not undo the wars and the changes that the years have seen. There is blood on these stones, and that is all anyone remembers now.
An image of a polished Aedra cube flashes into your mind. There is writing on the sides, but the image is too faint for you to read. The Anamenfoth turns away from you and looks at the ground, gnawing a pointed claw. You can't change the past, but your choices now still matter. She looks at you sadly. Yes, that is the problem.
Another Estremor came through here a few days ago and, well, letting him through was a mistake. One I am eager not to repeat. The Guided Compass tribe has a reputation for being too soft with Estremoran. One that will not be improved by my failure to stop this man, who has desecrated our most sacred sites.
Maybe I could help.
I won't repeat a mistake in my haste to correct it. We bar Twin Elms from Estremoran to protect the ancient places that the Builders left behind. The Builders left this heritage to us to defend, but they alone had access to it. On this much, at least the 6 tribes agree.
You see again the polished Aedra cornerstone in your mind. This time the image is clearer. Each face of the stone is inscribed with a phrase you know by heart. You feel your lips form words. A gift from the builders of civilization to the guardians of their legacy. May the guardians watch the door while the builders keep the key.
These were the words given to the keepers of the stone.
Bethwell stares back at you, her tiny pointed teeth invisible through her gaping mouth. Or visible through her gaping mouth. I know.
Very well. The city is yours to explore. Tell the guard at the gate that you come to see the cornerstone with the blessing of the Guided Compass. If the gods have truly returned one of the builders to us, find the Delimgon of Ter Evron in Elm's Reach. If the gods have sent you here with a purpose, the Delimgon will know.
Minor positive with Twin Elms. Sweet. In the meantime, I shall be here to assist you. One of my companions, a representative of the Valian Republics, wishes to discuss a trade issue with you. The Orlan turns her gaze towards Pallegina. Yes, the Valian godlike, blessed of Hylia. Pallegina bristles and quickly spits out a response. So they say. The Anamenfoth's face shows no outward emotion, but her voice betrays annoyance at Pallegina's interruption. And diplomat of the Duke's Bells, I understand you were to be sent here with trade assurances from your masters? Revered Anamenfoth, it is true that I was chosen to convey these assurances, but understand that I was fashioned more for war than etiquette. The Orlan smirks slightly. In these dangerous times, perhaps it is better to send warriors to do diplomats' work. Pallegina musters a weak smile. Indeed, Anamenfoth, regarding the exclusive trade agreement. Her voice quavers slightly, and her golden eye darts in your direction. Nod head, smiling warmly. Pallegina steels herself. The Republics feel it would be best in the long-term interests of all parties if you maintained your traditional good trades with the Deerwood. The Anamenfoth's long ears pitch forward. A strange turn. What do the republics want then? Algina speaks quickly but